I bring in Team New Jersey Mark Bennett, a management consultant and a sandcastle builder. Do you do that professionally?
He actually has more hair now than he had before.
Private endeavor.
A couple weeks a year I'm on tour with radio stations, mall developers, things like that.
Really? Is it a money-making thing?
You bet.
My goodness, I can get into that kind of work. All right, good luck in the show, Mark. And Jenny Banco from Pennsville, New Jersey, a muralist, which may be the most interesting occupation we've had of anybody on this show. What defines a good mural?
Well, give me a nice big wall to work on.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, good luck to you. And Steve Goodman, born in Brooklyn, New York, now living in East Windsor, New Jersey, who also collects moose. Is it mooses or moose?
It's moose.
It's moose, all right.
Yes.
Well, what do you have in your
I've
pocket?
got a little Bullwinkle moose here. Bullwinkle is one of the features in my collection.
Doesn't matter.
Just always loved the cartoon and kind of like the animal.
How did this start, Steve?
From an intimate experience I had with the Bullwinkle cartoon.
I don't even know.
We won't talk about that, all right? Good luck to you and the Bullwinkle as well. Here's how we play the game. Each of the contestants have their own trump card. And the object of the game is to cover all 15 numbers of the card by answering questions correctly. First player to do so can win over $5,000, plus a chance to compete a $10,000 trump card bonus. And don't forget, our studio audience will be playing along with their own trump cards, and every time the contestant answers a question correctly, our audience members will cover the corresponding number on their card. So good luck to the contestants and audience members alike. Now, players, you can win round number one and $750 in cash by being the first to cover all four corners of your card, and you'll do so by answering questions in the following categories. And they are Picture Perfect, that is our arts category, Everyone's a Critic, Famous Critics, Bathtubs, and Take a Letter. All the answers are letters. Each category contains four questions, and a correct answer will cover a corner on your card and give you the right to select the next category. If you give me a wrong answer, you'll be frozen out of the next question. And Jenny, you won the backstage. Please choose first.
Well, Jimmy, I hope I don't embarrass myself. I'm going to start with Picture Perfect.
Can you say?
I thought you might. All right, everybody, good luck. This French artist left his job in banking, moved to the South Seas, and painted Women of Tahiti. Name him. Steve.
Who's Gauguin?
That is correct. I don't know who Gauguin is, but
Sorry.
he's the guy who painted this. That's all right. We got number 31 in your card. Choose for us, please.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I've got to try bathtub.
What's your lunch for tomorrow?
In the finale of this 1987 box office hit, Michael Douglas tries to end his relationship with Glenn Close by attempting to drown her in a bathtub. Name the film. Jenny.
Fatal Attraction.
That is correct. Yes, we cover number 16 on your card.
Well, even though it didn't do too well, I'll try Picture Perfect again.
All righty, here we go. This prominent 19th century American painter was best known for dramatic seascapes, such as one entitled Hurricane. Name him. Winslow Homer, the correct answer. Our next available category, Everyone's a Critic. Few film plots are as thick as the mustache of this critic who reviews movies for NBC's Today Show. Name him. Steve?
Gene Shalit.
That is correct. We cover number 35 on your card.
Okay, take a letter.
If you were singing the Canadian national anthem, this would be the first letter out of your mouth. Name it. Steve?
Oh.
Oh is correct. We cover 41. You give me one more correct answer, we'll give you the cash.
Take a letter.
In 1896, the Merchant Supply Company of Connecticut created these redeemable green trading stamps. Name them. Steve for the win.
S&S.
That's correct. Well, it's wrong. I was going to give it to you. S and H. S and H. S and S. I'm not sure, but Steve, you block out the next question, and we move on to Picture Perfect. This just to mark it to Jenny. He painted the dream sequences for the Hitchcock film Spellbound, but perhaps is best known for his surrealistic portraits and melting clocks. Name this painter. Mark.
Andy Warhol.
Oh, sorry, Salvador Dali. Dali, the correct answer. And we move on to Everyone's a Critic. He was the New York Times theater critic from 1965 to 1977. Name him. Clive Barnes. Clive Barnes is the answer. Bathtubs is our category. Mark, you back in. French playwright Edmond Rostand would take refuge in his bathtub to write this play about a famous swordsman. Name it. Mark.
Cyrano de Bergerac.
That is correct. Cover number 1 on your card. You want to choose a category?
Yeah, sure. Let's take a letter.
Name the classic Duke Ellington song about a New York mode of transportation. Steve for the win.
It's on. Take the A train.
That's right. Take the A train. Congratulations. Now that's all for it. And now we're going to give you $750 in cash. Players, we'll move on to round number 2 in just a moment, where the prize money will double to $1,500. If you become the first to cover the 5 numbers across your center line. And right now, Debbie is giving each of our players a special trump card. And beginning with this round, players, you can use this card to block the progress of one of your opponents. You can only play your trump card after you give me a correct answer. You've only got 1 card. We've got 2 rounds to go, so play it wisely. And players, if you win the game and still have your trump card, then you'll go to the bonus round with an extra advantage. Now, here are the categories for round number 2, and they are politics, 4-letter words, stocks and bonds, all about the stock market and James Bond. Simply Simon, people, places, and things, named Simon. Each category contains 5 questions, and Steve, since you won the first round, please choose for us.
Simply Simon.
According to Time magazine, the rights to an unauthorized biography of former First Lady Nancy Reagan were recently snapped up by this publishing house for $3 million. Name it. Jenny.
Simon & Schuster.
That is correct. Cover number 21 on your card.
4-letter words.
This 4-letter word can be either sonic or economic. What is it? Steve.
A boom.
Boom is correct.
Stocks and bonds.
In Goldfinger, what was the name of the Korean henchman who nearly killed James Bond with his steel-rimmed bowler hat? Steve.
Aja.
Aja is right. Yeah, we covered 37 on your card.
Simply Simon.
The first pope was originally called Simon until Jesus gave him a new name. What did he call his apostle? Jenny.
Peter.
Peter is correct, yes.
And I'll try 4-letter words again.
From Greek for fire, this heap of wood can be used during a funeral. What is the 4-letter word? Mark. Hire. Hire is correct, yes. Politics. By 1871, this ex-congressman and political boss had defrauded New York City of millions of dollars. Name him. Mark. Tammany. Sorry, William Tweed, the correct answer. You're blocked on to the next question. We move on to 4-letter words. This 4-letter word, which is Dutch for farmer, was the term for a Dutch colonist in South Africa. What's the word? Boer. Boer, the correct answer. You're back into it, Mark. Stocks and bonds are category. On the New York Stock Exchange, we have the Dow Jones Index. What's the name of the index on the Tokyo Stock Exchange? Mark.
The Nikkei.
Nikkei is correct. Yes, we cover number 7 on your
Politics
card.
again, Jimmy.
Appointed by Reagan and retained by Bush, Lauro Cavazos is the first Hispanic to serve on the cabinet. What department does he head?
Mark, Secretary of Education.
That is correct. We cover number 8. Well done.
Politics one more time.
The practice of dividing a state into favorable voting
Politics.
districts takes its name from a Massachusetts governor. What's the practice called? Mark.
Gerrymandering.
That's correct. For Elbridge Gerry.
Do you have any questions left in politics?
We sure do. You like one?
You got it.
You got it. From 1904 to 1920, he was the Socialist Party's candidate for president 4 times. Name him. Steve.
Gasol.
Sorry, Eugene Debs, the correct answer. You're blocked out of the next question. 4-letter words are category. This 4-letter word, derived from Latin for enemy, can be a multitude of angels. Name it.
Harem.
A host of angels. Host is the correct word. Steve, you're back into it. We move on to stocks and bonds. What explicit 3-letter instruction does James Bond give to bartenders regarding the making of his favorite martini? Jenny.
Stirred, not shaken.
Close. He wants it shaken, not stirred. He had it reversed. Jenny, you're blocked out of the next question. We move on to Simply Simon. In 1988, this Illinois representative unsuccessfully sought the Democratic nomination for president. Name him. Steve.
Paul Simon.
That is correct. Cover 38 on your card. Jenny, you're back in.
4-letter words.
Last question in the category. What 4-letter Italian word is an operatic solo? Mark for the win.
Aria.
That is correct. Congratulations, Mark. Get off the score front. Keep on strong. And we're going to give you $1,500. So we'll return in just a moment here on Truck Car. We'll double the prize money once again to $3,000. Heading 12 answers away from the cash, and Steve, if you give me 8 correct answers, I'm going to give you $3,000. A reminder, you still have your trump cards in front of you. Use them to block the progress of an opponent at the appropriate time. Okay, everybody, good luck, and here we go. In the film The Graduate, what was Mr. McGuire's one-word vocational advice to Benjamin Braddock? Mark. Plastics. That is correct. We cover number 2 on your card. It was established in 1920 and dissolved in 1946, named as predecessor of the United Nations. Mark.
The League of Nations.
That's correct. We cover number 3. You're now 7 answers away from the money. In ancient times, it was worth more than gold. It was used to flavor wine. Today, we use this spice to flavor apple pie and sweet rolls. Name it. Steve.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon is correct, yes. Two countries share the Khyber Pass. One is Pakistan. Name the other. Mark.
Afghanistan.
Correct. Cover 4 in your card. You're 6 answers away from $3 grand. From the Greek word for elders, this Protestant denomination is based on the doctrines of John Calvin. Name this church. Mark.
Calvinist.
Sorry, Presbyterian. The correct answer. You're blocked out of the next question. Name the legendary New York City Concert Auditorium built in 1891. Steve.
Carnegie Hall.
That is correct. Yes, we covered 33. Mark, you're back in. The musical Once Upon a Mattress is based on this fairy tale involving a bunch of mattresses. Name it. Steve?
The Princess and the Pea.
That is correct. We cover 34. You're 5 answers away from the money. What Boston church figured prominently in the Ride of Paul Revere? Mark.
The North Church.
Yes, the Old North Church will accept North Church alone. And we cover number 14 in your card.
I'd like to trump my friend Steve.
All right, Steve, it means you need a correct answer in order to remove it from your podium. Here we go. This grappling sport takes its name from the Japanese meaning gentle way, named as cousin of jiu-jitsu. Mark.
Sumo.
Sorry, judo, the correct answer. You're blocked out of the next question. Antwerp is the largest port city in what European country? Jenny.
Amsterdam.
Sorry, Belgium, the correct answer. You're blocked out of the next one. Mark, you're back in. Pegging on a board is part of what card game? Mark.
Cribbage.
Yes, that's correct. 4 answers away from the cash for you. Jenny, you're back in. What type of medical needle literally means under the skin? Mark.
Hypodermic.
Correct. 3 answers away from $3,000. Try to remember the small blue blossom Alaska calls its state flower. Jenny.
Forget-me-not.
That's correct. Yes, we covered number 17 on your card.
And I would like to trump Mark.
All right, Mark. You need a correct answer to get rid of that as well. Here we go. It's the only Ivy League institution known as a college, not a university. Name this New Hampshire school. Steve.
Boston College.
Sorry, Dartmouth's the correct answer. You're blocked up with the next question. Name the 63 books that include the traditional body of Jewish law, as well as legendary accounts of the Jewish people. Mark.
The Talmud.
Talmud is correct. Yes, we removed the trump card from your podium. You're 3 answers away from the cash. From Latin for 2 by 2, what's the name of the number system that only uses the symbols 1 and 0? Jenny.
A binary.
That's correct. We cover 18 on your card. During the 60s and 70s, 4 members of this circus family were killed while performing. Name this flying family. Mark.
Flying Wallendas.
That is correct. We cover 13 on your card, 2 answers away from the money. In what sport do the champions receive the Stanley Cup? Steve.
Ice hockey.
That's correct.
I would like to trump Mark.
Okay. You couldn't wait to get that out. All right, Mark. You need to fend off another trump card. And Steve, right now, you're 5 answers away from the money. What Scottish queen was beheaded by her cousin, Elizabeth I? Jenny.
Mary Queen of Scots.
That's true, yes. We covered 19 in your card. You're 9 answers away from the money. What other name is given to the Horn of Plenty? Jenny.
Cape of Good Hope.
Sorry,
Cornucopia.
Cornucopia is the correct answer. Right, you're blocked out of the next one. Name the farming device invented in the United States by Cyrus McCormick. Mark.
The Reaper.
The Reaper is correct. Remove the trump card from your podium. You're 2 answers away. Jenny, you're back in. In mathematics, what's the bottom term of a fraction called? Mark.
The denominator.
That is right. 1 answer away from $3,000 for you. What New York City mansion is home to the mayor?
Gracie.
Mark for the win.
Gracie Mansion.
Correct. Congratulations, Mark.
Oh, he has hair too. See, well, he has more hair now. Steve's got a mullet too. I think this might be us. Yeah, you guys are doing fine.
You really got fast at the end. Now we'll find out how you can do against the big guy behind you. The trump card bonus for it. We'll find out if he can add to his total in just a moment. Come back as our top 20 winners. We'll come back and try for $100,000 later in the year. But first things first, yes, there's a woo in the audience. The big board's got 25 numbers on it. If you give me a correct answer, we cover a number on the board. The object of the game is to cover 5 numbers in a row, either across, up and down, or diagonally by giving me correct answers. And if you can do that in 45 seconds or less, I give you the money. Real easy. First, we're going to ask Debbie to join us. She's carrying a special deck of cards numbered 1 through 125. And if you pick one, we'll cover that up on the board for you. Number is 25. Ooh, Ooh, that's a good one. Thanks very much, Debbie. All right, you got a free number. You've got 45 seconds on the clock. You call it a number, I'll ask you a question. If you pass or if you answer incorrectly, we'll block that line, and then you must start a new one. Let's talk strategy. 25 is a great pick because from there, you've got the diagonal, straight across, and straight up and down. A good pick for you. Remember, if you don't call it a number, I can't ask you a question. That'll cost you time. We will not start the clock until I begin the first question. Are you nervous?
Terrified.
Well, in that case, let's begin, Mark. Whenever you're ready, give me a number.
13.
What instrument is used to measure altitude?
An altimeter.
Correct. 15. What southern state is known as the heart of Dixie?
Alabama.
Correct. 14. What British author wrote of human bondage?
Pass.
19. What German physicist gave his name to a machine that measures radiation?
Jury. Pass. 24.
What is the medical name for German measles?
Pass.
18. What's the capital of Costa Rica?
Costa Rica. 23.
What president delivers the famous Fort Freedom speech to Congress?
Roosevelt.
Correct. 8. What's the title of the Senate officer who keeps order during meetings?
Sergeant General.
Correct.
7.
Name the world famous opera house located in Milan, Italy.
Sorry.
La Scala. You got that one right? That's good. You know how to go. Give her a well all over, but we'll be back in just a moment to sum it all up. Tell you how much we want one. Just a moment. The questions you got wrong in the bonus round. What British author wrote of human bondage? W. Somerset Maugham. What German physicist gave the name, his name to a machine that measures radiation? Geiger. And what is the medical name for German measles? Rubella. The capital of Costa Rica is San Jose. But you know what? You got $4,500. Not bad at all. You've got a couple of kids in the audience who are very happy for you, don't you?
Oh, for sure.
What are their names?
It's Kyle and Gabriel.
And anybody else in the audience?
Mom and Dad.
Right behind?
Howdy.
Terrific. Now your kids, are they going to give you a bad time now about this, about not getting the $10,000? They should.
They want me to buy dinner.
Who wants to buy dinner? 2 lobsters. Hey guys, you got a very intelligent dad for $4,500. You got 2 lobsters tonight. All right, thanks for coming in. Best of luck to you. For David Massey, I'm Jimmy Sutton. We'll see you next time right here on Truck Talk. So long, everybody.
One of our departing contestants will receive the following. Jordan brings new dimension to timekeeping with the Sectora watch. Today's technology with yesterday's styling. 18-karat white gold overlay from Jordan. If you'd like tickets to see Trump Card, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Trump Card, Post Office Box 749, Atlantic City, New Jersey, 08404. And is distributed by Warner Brothers Domestic Television Distribution.
Bringing to New Jersey, Mark Bennett, a management consultant and a sandcastle builder. Do you do that professionally?
He actually has more hair now than he had before.
Private endeavor.
A couple weeks a year I'm on tour with radio stations, mall developers, things like that.
Really? Is it a money-making thing?
You bet.
My goodness, I can get into that kind of work. All right, good luck in the show, Mark. And Jenny Banco from Pennsville, New Jersey, a muralist, which may be the most interesting occupation we've had of anybody on this show. What defines a good mural?
Well, give me a nice big wall to work on.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
All right, good luck to you. And Steve Goodman, born in Brooklyn, New York, now living in East Windsor, New Jersey, who also collects moose. Is it mooses or moose?
It's moose.
It's moose, all right.
Yes.
Well, what do you have in your
I've
box?
got a little Bullwinkle moose here. Bullwinkle is one of the features in my collection.
Doesn't matter.
Just always loved the cartoon and kind of like the animal.
How did this start, Steve?
From an intimate experience I had with the Bullwinkle cartoon.
I don't even know
We
how.
won't talk about that, all right? Good luck to you and the Bullwinkle as well. Here's how we play the game. Each of the contestants have their own trump card. And the object of the game is to cover all 15 numbers on the card by answering questions correctly. First player to do so can win over $5,000, plus a chance to complete a $10,000 trump card bonus. And don't forget, our audience is playing along on their own trump cards, and every time the contestant answers a question correctly, our audience members will cover the corresponding number on their card. So good luck to the contestants and audience members alike. Now, players, you can win round number one and $750 in cash by being the first to cover all four corners of your card, and you'll do so by answering questions in the following categories. And they are Picture Perfect, that is our art category, Everyone's a Critic, Famous Critics, Bathtubs, and Take a Letter. All the answers are letters. Each category contains four questions, and a correct answer will cover a corner on your card and give you the right to select the next category. If you give me a wrong answer, you'll be frozen out of the next question. And Jenny, you won the backstage. Please choose for us.
Well, Jimmy, I hope I don't embarrass myself. I'm going to start with Picture Perfect.
Can you say?
Thought you might. All right, everybody, good luck. This French artist left his job in banking, moved to the South Seas, and painted Women of Tahiti. Name him. Steve.
Who's Gauguin?
That is correct. I don't know who Gauguin is, but
I'm sorry.
he's the guy who painted this. That's all right. We go over 31 in your card. Choose for us, please.
Okay, I'm intrigued. I've got to try bathtub.
Who's your lunch for tomorrow?
In the finale of this 1987 box office hit, Michael Douglas tries to end his relationship with Glenn Close by attempting to drown her in a bathtub. Name the film. Jenny.
Fatal Attraction?
That is correct. Yes, we cover number 16 on your card.
Well, even though it didn't do too well, I'll try Picture Perfect again.
Alrighty, here we go. This prominent 19th century American painter was best known for dramatic seascapes, such as one entitled Hurricane. Name him. Winslow Homer, the correct answer. Our next available category, Everyone's a Critic.
Nice.
Few film plots are as thick as the mustache of this critic who reviews movies for NBC's Today Show. Name him. Steve?
Gene Shalit.
That is correct. We cover number 35 on your card.
Okay, take a letter.
If you were singing the Canadian national anthem, this would be the first letter out of your mouth. Name it. Steve?
Oh.
Oh, is correct. We cover 41. You give me one more correct answer, we'll give you the cash.
Take a letter.
In 1896, the Merchant Supply Company of Connecticut created these redeemable green trading stamps. Name them. Steve for the win.
S&S.
That's correct. Well, it's wrong. I was going to give it to you. S and H. S and H. S and S. I'm not sure, but Steve, you're blocked out of the next question. And we move on to Picture Perfect. This just to mark it to Jenny. He painted the dream sequences for the Hitchcock film Spellbound, but perhaps is best known for his surrealistic portraits and melting clocks. Name this painter. Mark.
Andy Warhol.
Oh, sorry, Salvador Dali. Dali, the correct answer. And we move on to Everyone's a Critic. He was the New York Times theater critic from 1965 to 1977. Name him. Clive Barnes. Clive Barnes is the answer. Bathtub is our category. Mark you back in. French playwright Edmond Rostand would take refuge in his bathtub to write this play about a famous swordsman. Name it. Mark.
Cyrano de Bergerac.
That is correct. Cover number 1 on your card. You want to choose a category?
Yeah, sure. Let's take a letter.
Name the classic Duke Ellington song about a New York mode of transportation. Steve for the win.
It's on. Take the A train.
That's right. Take the A-train is correct. Congratulations. Now that's all for you. And now we're going to give you $750 in cash. Players, we'll move on to round number 2 in just a moment, where the prize money will double to $1,500. $1,000 if you become the first to to cover the 5 numbers across your center line. And right now, Debbie is giving each of our players a special trump card. And beginning with this round, players, you can use this card to block the progress of one of your opponents. You can only play your trump card after you give me a correct answer. You've only got 1 card. We've got 2 rounds to go, so play it wisely. And players, if you win the game and still have your trump card, then you'll go to the bonus round with an extra advantage. Now, here are the categories for round number 2, and they are politics, 4-letter words, stocks and bonds, all about the stock market and James Bond. Simply Simon, people, places, and things, named Simon. Each category contains 5 questions, and Steve, since you won the first round, please choose for us.
Simply Simon.
According to Time magazine, the rights to an unauthorized biography of former First Lady Nancy Reagan were recently snapped up by this publishing house.